Hi everyone, I'm Mr. Paul, and welcome to Art Day! I am so excited to get to have some time to hang out with you and make some art together. We are going to have so much fun. How many of you like reading comic books? I love them because it's art that comes to life and tells you a story. Sometimes the stories are funny. Sometimes they're about superheroes. Sometimes they're about big adventures. And sometimes they are pure magic. For me, looking at all artwork is like looking at a comic book because it all tells a story. When I look at a painting or a sculpture or any kind of work of art, I try to imagine, what is the story? Who are the characters? What's happening here? Look at this painting by Maxfield Parrish. Do you know what story he's telling? It's the story of the Pied Piper, who played his magic pipe and everybody followed. Look at this awesome story quilt by the artist Faith Ringgold. The story is set on the roof of the main character's apartment building, and her big dream is to be free to go wherever she wants. One day the dream comes true and the stars come to help her fly across the city. How cool is that? Look at this painting by artist Mark Ryden and try to imagine, what are these characters saying to each other? Looking at art is so much more fun when you look at it the same way you look at a comic strip. Every artist has a story to tell, and it's your job to try and figure out what that story is. But that's not your only job. I know that you guys are awesome artists too, so I want to know what stories you have to tell. Today, I'm going to teach you how to make your very own comic strip. Are you ready? Let's go! For today's lesson, you're going to need paper, pencil, a ruler, and whatever you like to use to color. One way to start is to just begin sketching your characters. I want to draw my dog, Seamus, as the main character for my comic strip. So I'm going to start sketching him out. Seamus is a whippet. Whippets have long, skinny necks and long noses, so in my version I'm going to really exaggerate that to make him look extra cute and cartoony. When you're drawing a character for a comic strip, it's a good idea to keep the character pretty simple because you're going to have to be drawing them over and over again in different poses. As you're sketching out your character, think about what are some of their personality traits. You can even make notes off to the side if you want. Seamus is cute, smart, pretty, loving, and lazy. Okay, after you have your character figured out, now you have to decide what's going to happen. Each little rectangle in a comic is called a panel. And you can have as many panels as you need to tell your story. I'm going to use 3 for mine, so I'm going to start by using my ruler to sketch out the 3 panels. Next, I'm going to very lightly sketch what happens in each panel. And I'm keeping it light because that will make it easier for me to erase if I need to make any changes. It is okay to change your mind. Don't feel like it has to be perfect the first time. A lot of artists have to try a few different versions before they're happy with it. It's also a good idea when you're making a comic strip to show different perspectives. So maybe in one panel we see the character really close, and then in the next panel zoom out a little bit so we can see the character's full body, or we can see from a different angle. That will make it more interesting. Now there are 3 things that every story should have, no matter how long or short it is. Do you know what they are? It's a beginning, a middle, and an end. In my comic strip, Seamus is going to start out saying, "What a beautiful day!" Let's go walk and play and run. Then in the last panel is the punchline. That's the funny part. In mine, the punchline is going to be that Seamus, since he's so lazy, is just going to take a nap instead. So he's going to say, right after a quick nap, if you want to, you can use a pen or a black marker to go over your lines so that they really stand out. If you do that, make sure that the marker is good and dry, and then you can take an eraser and erase away all of the extra pencil lines that you don't need anymore. And then the last thing I'm going to do is color it in. Ta-da! There it is! The very first Seamus comic strip. That was so much fun! I want to do more! One of my very first jobs as an artist was illustrating a comic strip that was in newspapers all over the country. I had to do one for every single day, and it was a whole lot of fun. I love making art that tells stories, and I bet each one of you has some pretty interesting stories to tell too. I can't wait to meet all the characters you're going to create and read about all of their adventures. I hope you have so much fun making your own comic strips. Take care, be creative, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!